What's up, everyone? Welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm your host, Ryan Kramer, and this is Crossover Commerce, presented by PingPong Payments, the leading global payments provider helping sellers keep more of their hard-earned money. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Crossover Commerce. Thanks for joining us again today. My name is Ryan Kramer. I'm your host of this podcast and live event. I am the affiliate marketing manager for PingPong Payments, which is a global service provider helping people save more money on Amazon, on e-commerce marketplaces. But this show, if you're tuning in for the first time, is to gain perspective and different assets of the e-commerce world, specifically Amazon. But we touch a little bit all on so many different topics. I'm really excited today because I have a special guest. We kind of connected over social media. He started his own podcast that maybe he'll talk a little bit about today, but he runs the business eCom Managers over in Pakistan. So again, Amazon and e-commerce is a global enterprise. Everyone from all over the world is taking part in this. So we're really excited to bring him on, talk about how we're finishing 2020 strong, and any other questions that pop up. If you do have questions and you're joining us live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or even Twitter, we're doing Twitter today too. So if you're on any of those platforms and are joining us live, answer your questions below, and I'll make sure that our guests and myself can answer those for you. But I would like to bring on special guest Raja of eCom Manager. Raja, how are you?
Awesome. What about you, Rian?
It's kind of crazy. So here in the United States, we have our holiday here, Thanksgiving, which is kind of like a crazy warped into e-commerce, kind of warped into like everyone just finds a bigger way to celebrate the holiday. So lots of people are taking off tomorrow. This is kind of like our final show before, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So it's really kind of a crazy time for people in our industry. But yeah, you were great to come on and kind of didn't ask any questions. You're like, I would love to talk about just like finishing 2020, what you guys are working on. Like I said, you're starting your own podcast, had a lot of friends of our own show on your show. So just kind of curious to kind of hop into, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience and tell us who is Raja?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's really an honor. And the second thing is that, my name is Raja, and I'm the CEO of a company called ecommanders.com. We are providing A to Z Amazon account management services. And I actually started my journey from different organizations, where I actually started my career as like a virtual assistant. Then I become assistant team lead, and then team lead, and then project manager, working on the different leadership and managerial roles. And then I started to start something by my own. So that's why I started this organization. Right now, we are providing all kind of the Amazon services, which actually you guys are looking for. We actually help Amazon sellers to hold their hand, and we help from start to till end, from scratch, from finding the profitable products, and then moving towards the supply sourcing, then keyword research, content writing, A+ content manager, previously known as EPC pages as well, storefront designing, and most of the things on marketing side as well. We can also help and assist you in outsource traffic as well, from Google and Facebook as well. This is my intro about the complete related stuff. And now a few weeks back, I started my own podcast as well. That is called eCom Stories with Raja, where actually we discuss most of the problems right now Amazon sellers are facing. And we actually have that particular discussion with the industry leaders. So the industry leaders like Brian R. Johnson, Dustin Kane, Ashley Armstrong. Right now, I'm also in touch with the brand ambassador of Helium 10 as well. Soon there's another episode is coming on. So this is how we are till now.
Awesome. And obviously we would love to be on that show and kind of give a valuable insight on terms of cross-border payments. That's down the road. Obviously, this is the show. We're here to talk about you and your team. So we're kind of talking a little bit before this about, where your background, which is a cool and unique background in my take. I don't think there's a lot of people that just think when they think Amazon.com, they think a lot of United States sellers. They're here in the United States, which is where I'm located, but it's a global enterprise. There's just so many different sellers. And maybe you can share that statistic that we were talking about how many different sellers are just hopping on Amazon and selling on Amazon marketplaces, not just here in the United States, but around the world daily. Do you mind sharing that again for our audience?
Yeah, actually, there are as per the latest stats, the Amazon marketplace is going more than like $1.5 trillion now, and almost 3,500 new Amazon sellers are listing on a daily basis. Like they wanted to sell on the Amazon, from almost like a $2 spend when a household in America spend $2 a day on the like shopping related stuff for the household. So from that $2, $1.67 are actually spending through the Amazon. So this is how like Amazon is big right now. And there are the other marketplaces. When we are talking about the other marketplaces, so USA is one of the strongest and most competitive and high demand marketplace as well. From 65% of sales are actually of Amazon actually are coming from the USA side. Then the second one is Germany. Then third one is the UK and Canada as well. So there are some other marketplaces, but the USA is having the highly return in the form of sales. And same as like I'm working with the different sellers, so they actually came with me like with a question like, hey Raja, like what do you suggest? We wanted to go on the Amazon, so what do you suggest? Do you suggest to go into the USA marketplace, or do you want to like suggest like we need to go into some other market? So usually I suggest them like USA although have a high competition as well, but if we have a very strong low demand, high demand and low competitive product, then definitely USA is the one of the greatest option. But if we are having a product which is like almost having a medium or high competition in the US, then I suggest to go them into the some other marketplaces. For example, Germany is one of the greatest marketplace in the Amazon side as well. So when we are talking about the Amazon, so first thing is come into the mind that is big, and the second thing which come into the market mind is that like in Amazon, when we are talking about the sales, when we are talking about the business, so they have the two basic business model. Number one is the private label, and number two is the wholesale business model. So it totally depends like on which marketplace you want to go, and it totally depends upon which product you want to go.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I think that's something that a lot of people are just trying to still navigate on a daily basis, whether if it's just entering in the United States market because it is such a large market, or entering maybe not such a competitive market, whether, like you said, whether it's India or whether it's United Kingdom or Germany. When you as a agency, people are approaching you, at what point in their journey on Amazon are they at? Are they haven't sold anything yet? Are they just becoming interested in it, or are they currently active sellers and then they just need help kind of growing?
Yeah, like in our agency, like we have a full product basket. Like we have the different sellers. There are the sellers who actually they are not the sellers. They are investors basically. They like come to me and like, hey Raja, we have this amount of money, and we wanted to invest that particular money in Amazon, and we want you to consult us like how we're gonna invest that and which business model is good. So we help them from scratch. Like we help them to found their products. We help them to source their products. We help them in like creating their listings and storefront, and creating the launching strategies and indexing related stuff as well. Helping them in ongoing basis as well. So this is like the first case. There's another case as well. There are some advanced level sellers are coming who actually have a lot of work, and they are unable to manage that particular thing. So being an outsourced solution, they actually came to me or came to us, and they actually say that like we have a lot of work on Amazon which we are unable to manage, so we need a ready to go persons. So that's why like we are looking for someone. So this is how we are actually help them. And the third case, there are the agencies like us as well. who are like quite getting a new customers, but they don't want to go with the like expansion of their offices and stuff like that. So they actually hire us to manage their clients as well. So these are the like three conditions.
So what's the most exciting part of running, hundreds of Amazon storefronts on a day-to-day basis? Would you consider it the challenge of like each storefront's different, or would you consider just like the knowledge and continuing education component? What's kind of that as a CEO of a business with tens of not hundreds of people? I'm not sure how big again an eCom manager is, but you're in charge of an enterprise or a company. What's kind of that exciting thing for you as a business owner and then Amazon expert?
Yeah, initially, like when I actually started working on Amazon, so there are a lot of challenges. But now, right now, like after going again and again and again, so almost like I work on the maximum number of categories, and also I know how to deal with the stuff, and also how I know like how to bring sales the those particular categories which are like for someone who actually that particular category is that or stuff like that. So right now the most of the like there's a no that kind of like challenging thing for me right now, because there's like I have a lot of experience and practice on there, and the stuff when we are working on the company side. So initially, like I have a lot of difficulties when I actually start building my own team. So people are not believing in and stuff like that. So I actually keep them training, and they are actually leaving the stuff. But right now we have a like quite good number of like team members as well. And when we are talking about the Amazon sellers, so for me there is a no kind of challenge, but for Amazon sellers there are a lot of challenges. I wanted to highlight some of the challenges as well. There are the different sellers who have came to me and they said like we are not getting sales and we are like struggling with that, and we don't know how we're gonna gain the sales, and we don't know like why this has happened to me. I think so I have a very bad destiny and stuff like that. So when I actually give them a free account audit, like let me check your Amazon account, and then I will came up with some solutions. And when I dig into their account and I see that like there are the like bundles of mistakes they are actually doing. They are not going to do the proper listings. They don't know like, what is backend. They don't know like how Amazon actually works. They don't know like how to launch their products. They don't know like how to structure their PPC campaigns. They don't know how Amazon actually works. They don't know like how we're gonna deal with the suppliers, and they don't know how to deal with the customers as well. So these are the like lot of issues. I wanted to share a story. Like a seller came to me and he said like, "Hey Raja, I think so. I'm just going to quit Amazon and I'm going to file a case on Jeff Bezos and stuff like that." So I asked him like, "What is the issue? Why you are actually doing?" He said like, "I actually launched my product almost 3 months ago, and till now there's no single sale. So I'm going to file a case and I will sue Amazon and Jeff Bezos and stuff like that."
Oh my
So when
gosh.
talking about that, so I just asked him to just to give me the access of your account and let me check that like what is the issue. So there is a listing is created, but there is a like I when I came into the inventory section, so there is a listing. I said like, okay, we have the listing, and although there are some bad things, but I think that like we are good to go. But why there are the no sales? When I came to the advertising section, so there are the like no single campaign in the advertising portion. So I told that particular seller like, what is this? Like, did you like how did you launch your product? So he said, I just created listing and I thought so it will be launched on Amazon. So I said him like, this is not the launching. We need to launch it properly, like with advertisement, with our strategy, and with how we're gonna make sure that like our product should be stand in the front of like different sellers, and how we're gonna compete with them. Like if we are talking about the stuff like there are the like 1,000 sellers on the Amazon which are actually selling your the same product which are you selling. So if you wanted to get the sales, if you wanted to get the market share, you wanted to make something specific, unique, and something which actually bring you or highlight you from these particular 1,000 or 10,000 Amazon sellers. So the buyers who are actually the shoppers who are actually coming, so they are going to buy your product. So for that purpose, we need to do a lot of work. We need to do make sure that our listing should be on a higher end and stuff like that. So these are the like most of the challenges I face when I initially work on the Amazon side, and most of the challenges are actually created by the Amazon sellers by itself. Like Amazon is not make them like they thought like it will be happened automatically, and we just list a product, and then we need to just calculate what is the profit. That's it. But they don't know
Gotcha.
like we need to work a lot for that.
So you see a lot of first time sellers who think that if they just find a product and they list it on there, it's just going to magically kind of sell itself, and there's no like real work to it. Is that kind of what you're kind of running into a lot over there?
Yeah, but this is actually happened to the new sellers, like who just wanted to, who just listen maybe your podcast or maybe some
Right.
other podcast, and they the guys are talking about Amazon is this and stuff like maybe our podcast as well, and they just jump into the Amazon and sign in, create the account, and then like create the listing, and then on the next morning they are expecting like let me open my account and there should be 100 of sales, and what is there in the account, there is a no single sale. So that actually really hurts them.
So with that being said, like what's kind of that expectation management that you have to do for clients? Like, they come in with very high expectations. They think if they turn it over to you, they're expecting just maybe unrealistic. I mean, maybe it's realistic at some point, but what's that expectation management conversation like with a seller just on a daily basis? If not, it sounds like it happens quite often with you.
Yeah. Like I'm also the student of masters as well. I'm right now in the marketing field and studying masters, and my main or core subject is consumer behavior. So that is actually related to our field as well. So whenever a new client is coming to me with the high expectations, so I usually give them a very crystal clear image. Like this is what we need to do, and this is how Amazon works. And I placed the all information and all the stuff which are actually related to him, and then I give him a free hand. Like this is the entire stuff, and now you need to decide like you wanted to go with that or not. So with very crystal clear image, and with like giving them a clear information, so that's how I actually manage their expectations.
Gotcha. What's maybe one thing that you wish you would have known before starting e-commerce managers? Is it something that running a business level, or is it more of an Amazon knowledge level? What's one thing that you wish we would have known before kicking off your company?
Yeah, as like our name shows that like we are a e-com managers. So our target is like that's actually explains the vision as well. We are targeting the coming future as like we will target the entire e-commerce, and managers means that we will provide the managers of the account. I work on a different organization where there's a VA culture as well. So VA is something I found actually there is a huge gap, and there's a very big problem in that. Like in between a VA and in to the Amazon seller or the business owner. Whatever Amazon seller or the business owner is going to ask or give a task to a VA is only just going to do it. But in e-com managers, we are not like a VAs. We are the manager of your business. Like we help you from start to end. We consult you. Like we also make sure that the business is actually in the profit. So if like we have a what is your blood group?
Oh, what's our group? I'm sorry,
What
it
is
cut out a
your
little
blood
bit.
group? Yeah, what is your blood group?
Oh, well, I guess it just kind of it depends on what you're looking at, right? Like, so a lot of I guess I'm kind of going back to our initial thought of like what we're focusing on now.
Yeah, for example,
Yeah, go
for
ahead.
example, my blood group is like O positive. Like my blood group is O positive.
Gotcha.
So Yeah, in our company we also have a blood group that is called
Oh,
CPR.
gotcha. Sorry,
Yeah, that is
I misunderstood. Yeah, O negative. I'm
O
actually
negative.
universal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in our company, we also have a blood group that is called CPR positive. Means C means client, P
Okay.
means profit, and R means retention. And if so, it's actually defined that if a client is in profit, then only he's going to retain with us. So we need to make sure that like our client should be in profit. So that is the very first and the basic culture in ecommanagers.com. And when we are talking about the sellers who are actually looking for that particular stuff, so we need to make sure that like they are actually in the profit. If they are going to be in a profit, that is the ultimate thing. So we are more than the normal VAs. We are just now the task oriented stuff. We actually help you from like building from start to till end, like at every single stage. If your listing is not properly working, we are there. If your PPC campaigns are not properly working, we are there. If your storefront is not working properly, we are there. If you are looking for something help in the shipment related stuff, we are there. If you are looking for some more and more traffic, like outsource traffic, you need like help in the Google and the Facebook ads, we are there. If you need any kind of the launching services, we are there. If Amazon is going to like eat all of your profits and like all the other monies which is actually coming, so we actually help in the reimbursement as well. If you wanted to go into a category which is not open right now, so we also help in the category approval as well. We are there as well. So entire journey of Amazon, if you need any kind of help, yeah, sorry, if you need any kind of help, we are there with you.
Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense, and that's a value asset that not a lot of people can afford. Whether it's be there 24/7 in case something happens overnight. Again, e-commerce in general, as everyone knows, never stops. It's constantly going. Everyone's awake at some point from there. So I guess like to go into our main topic and kind of get your thoughts on it. When you're talking to your clients or you as a company, how are you advising sellers to finish 2020 strong? Like, are some of the traditional biggest e-commerce holidays are coming up in a few days? There's only so much you can do currently right now, but what are you telling people? How do you finish this year strong on Amazon?
Yeah, when we are talking about the end of this particular year, so there are the lot of stuff which is actually completed, and there are the lot of things which need to be done. Like right now, this is the time we need to be focused on, like how much big is Amazon. Number one thing, and number two is that like this is the end of 2020, and we experience that there are a lot of improvements. Like in coronavirus 2020, whenever we are talking about 2020, there is a coronavirus talk there as well. So coronavirus also told us like Amazon is not going to be on a lower end, it will be increased. So 2020, at the end, we need to make sure that like our products, our targeting, our sales should be on the right place, and we need to make sure that when we are talking about the Amazon sellers, so do not go with any kind of the launch, or do not go with any kind of the product research at this quarter four, at the end of the year. I highly suggest that like whenever we are actually ending a year, like specifically this 2020, I highly suggest that like we need to be make sure that like what is our entire experience. Like as per my experience, I have a more stronger belief on Amazon. I have a more stronger belief on the services we are providing. I have a more stronger belief like Amazon is not going anywhere. E-commerce is the future. E-commerce is becoming big and big. The consumer behavior is entirely shifted from offline to online, and the coming future is for online industry, the coming future is for e-commerce industry, and the coming future is related to the one and only thing, and that is we are going to uh, convert all our offline businesses into the online stages. So whoever is going to right now watch this podcast, I highly suggest him, if he is going to open a store, offline store in the market, I suggest him it's better to open a online store in the market.
Gotcha.
So there is a more than like 10 or 100% like ROI in the online stores. All the companies in this 2020, the maximum companies are actually going to the like firing and stuff like that. But what Amazon actually did, what e-commerce industries are actually did, they are like increasing day by day. In this whole year, Amazon worth is almost increased by double. Like it's in when we are actually started 2020, so Amazon is not a $1 trillion company, but now it's like more than like $1 trillion. It's 1.6, it's quite like crossing $1.6 trillion right now. So I highly suggest that end this 2020 years at a stage or at a level like with the decision like soon you are going to be start a e-commerce a business, so that is going to give you like make you retire as soon as possible, and will give you a passive and very strong income.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And those are great. Those are all great tips in terms of like first time sellers selling on trying to get on Amazon. So so you had mentioned before in your introduction about your podcast. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and kind of what that perspective is from your point of view and what you're trying to gain in terms of, educating people or just your perspective on e-commerce. What are you trying to achieve with the podcast?
Yeah, the podcast name is actually eCom Stories with Raja, and in that particular show, we actually talk about more the problems the Amazon sellers are facing, and we try to ask that with the different industry leaders. I'm planning to have more and more videos on that, and we try to target the problems of the Amazon sellers and try to give the possible suggestions and solutions as well. Plus, we are also trying to share some kind of the story of that particular leader as well. Like whenever, like whoever is the leader in a market right now, like Brian Johnson is there, Tim Jordan is there, Ashley Armstrong is there. They are the like quart of like a lot of industry leaders are there, but they started from scratch. They started from zero. So I try to pull out their success stories and try to share it with the Amazon sellers who are actually right now dealing with the failures. Amazon or the businesses, like they are close to the mindset. Like if you have a winning mindset, whatever the business is, you will be definitely win. But if you are having a failure mindset or failing mindset, then if you have an amazing industry as well, you are not going to win in that. So in ecom stories with Raja, I pull the success stories of that particular industry leaders and also ask them the problems which they can address very well. For example, there are a lot of questions which are related to the Amazon PPC, like different sellers have their different problem. So I ask a lot of questions to Brian R. Johnson, like how we're going to deal with that and how the issues are going to be fixed on. And that particular content is having a very huge value. Mindset plus the technical solution. So I try to pull these two things in my podcast, in my show.
No, that's awesome. I think that's really cool that you can do that. Like you said, I think the thing, this show is very new. I think we're on, episode 20 or something like that. It's gone quickly. So there's so many people that want to share their stories, want to share knowledge and give a perspective. And I know that's why we started this channel. I know you have that cool, unique perspective as well, which is super valuable for people who are just starting out online. And this is a great way to consume it. And again, for everyone who's joining us live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, again, on Periscope as well, on Twitter. I'm with Raja of eCommerce Managers. He's the CEO and founder of eCom Managers, excuse me. Maybe are you a current Amazon seller still?
Yeah.
Okay, you still are. So what's the, so knowing that, where are you getting all of your information or most of your information from on a day-to-day basis to kind of like self-educate yourself? Like, is there a podcast or is there show or just a blog that you continuously read and keep yourself updated, or a Facebook group? What is that for you?
Yeah, the most of the things actually you mentioned right now, I actually use the combine of all of them, and I actually have a great communication with the different industry leaders. I learn from there. I read a lot of blogs. I watch a lot of videos. I go to the lot of webinars. Plus, I spend a lot of money on building my information and knowledge as well. Plus, I'm testing a lot of things and make sure that like what is working right now and what we can change. And this is how like the most related to the practical solutions. So, watching the webinars, reading the blogs, having conversation with the industry leaders, and plus practically experience the things in my own agency as well. So all these actually give me the information and knowledge.
That's awesome to hear. So if you are to kind of guess, almost like as you grow and hopefully your knowledge continues to grow with you, where do you expect maybe Amazon e-commerce to, or maybe just specifically Amazon to grow majority in 2021? What's kind of that like thing that you're looking for, that you see the trends kind of building that way? What's that one thing that you're telling your clients, hey, I think this is really going to start taking off? It's not a prediction, but I would say like, hey, based on data, this is what we're seeing. Be ready for it.
Yeah. So as of the data and as per the Amazon thoughts and as per my gut feel, Amazon will be more is going to target on the automation and will target more of the stuff on the advertising side as well. Amazon is experimenting a lot of things with the robotic related and technology related things. So the prime target of Amazon may be, as per my gut feel, it should be giving the products or like to the customers as soon as possible. Like right now they are trying to make sure that like if you order a product in the morning, you should receive that particular product in the evening. So maybe in a very coming future, you are going to order a product like now, and after 1 hour the product is at your doorstep. So I strongly believe that Amazon is actually Amazon have actually one of the main goal, that is like they are actually treating their customer as like a king. So whatever a king is looking for, the Amazon is going to provide that, and mostly that is related to the getting the speedy orders, getting a strong support. And in the seller's point of view, Amazon is in 2020, Amazon added a lot of option in the advertising side, so new campaigns and stuff like that. So I also believe that Amazon is closing to the Google ads. Like when we are talking about the Google ads, so Google ads actually gives a lot of options in the terms of like campaigns and stuff like that. So Amazon is actually going more close and close. So that actually gives a lot of control of Amazon account to the seller who are actually using that. So a strong shipment and giving more and more options in the advertising side. I think so. These are the two main things Amazon will focus on 2021.
That's awesome. Well, Raja, I think that for me, I think that's a great stopping point in terms of, you know, what like 2020 looks like. Obviously, not a lot of people obviously first saw this coming. It threw a big wrench in a lot of people's business, but it also accelerated a lot of business online, which is obviously the industries we're talking about right now. For people who are interested in learning more, you obviously have a really cool perspective. How can people either hear your podcast or learn more about eCom managers?
Yeah, we have the website as well, and definitely like another thing is that like we have the YouTube channel eCom Stories with Raja, and I'm like decided to continue to give more and more in the videos related to the Amazon. Like whatever I have, whatever I learn, it's time to pay back. So I will give all that particular stuff free of cost to my YouTube channel, to the new comers of the Amazon sellers, and hopefully I will add more and more videos that actually having a very strong, sharp edge content in the video. So this is like my target, to give more and more information about the Amazon side. And when we are talking about the e-com managers, so we have a website, ecommanagers.com. You can come to us, and whatever you want to discuss, there is a huge amount of support team is there. I personally monitor the entire communication as well. So whenever you wanted to talk, you can just go to the eCommanagers.com. You can get in touch with me through the LinkedIn as well, Facebook as well. I'm mostly active on all of the platforms.
So yeah, and that you were super responsive when you got back with me and all that information. Thank you so much today. I think is super eye-opening in terms of like obviously kind of broadening that viewpoint. It's not just obviously people in one marketplace or another. It's a global enterprise. e-commerce in general, Amazon in general. I'm looking forward to hearing more about your podcast. Stay tuned. Obviously, follow Raja on LinkedIn, Facebook, any of the social platforms, and YouTube, and obviously where you can listen to your podcast as well. Thank you so much for joining us today on Crossover Commerce. Stay safe out there. I know 2020 is getting crazy, but it sounds like you guys are doing really well over there. And, we hope to have you on again soon to kind of get new perspective on how things are going. And obviously with PingPong payments, obviously around the world, we are a global service provider saving people money. You're trying to save peace of mind, which is really great. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring you on, is you're kind of calming people's minds. Same thing with PingPong. So with that being said, Raja, thank you so much for joining. This is Crossover Commerce. We are always live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Again, we tried Twitter today, which it seems like a lot of people were kind of tuning in for that. But join us next week. We actually have 3 other guests that are going to be talking about VAs in the Philippines. We're going to be talking with Zon Guru, John Tilley, actually, about just using data to find your next product. And then also we're having David Dayton of Amazon Experts talk about, pay as you go, and then also managed services. So lots of great more content coming your way in December, end of November. But Raja, thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure. It's my pleasure, and I would also like you to invite on my show as well. And we will talk more about the PingPong payments as well, and how PingPong payments actually help Amazon sellers. I would definitely get in touch with you, and then we will have a show as well, and then we will talk more. Today we will talk about eCom managers, and soon we will talk about the PingPong payments as well.
Absolutely. Anytime, just to shoot me over the information. Obviously, we're here to educate people on not just eCom managers or anything in the e-commerce world, but obviously on the payment side as well, for helping people save more money. So again, for Raja,
go ahead. Anything which is related to the which actually help Amazon sellers, I am more interested in that. I damn sure that PingPong payment actually help Amazon sellers in a very great way. And I wanted to I already read a lot of blogs and stuff that on the PingPong payments, but I wanted to make sure we extract more and more information, and I will give a post on that, and let's see what kind of questions I have, and then I will put that in front of you on a show, and I would love to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And we have content coming out weekly, just more information about the Amazon industry, obviously e-commerce. For those people out there who just want to learn more, check that out as well. And then our team is obviously standing by to just give people more knowledge about that space. So again, for Raja, I'm Ryan Kramer. I'm the affiliate marketing manager here and host of this show, Crossover Commerce. Thanks for tuning in. Again, we'll be live next week. Consume us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. All of our videos will be there for your consumption, but follow us on all those channels. And you can also follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. I'm Ryan Kramer. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and have a safe and happy holidays if you're in the United States, and then everyone be safe out there.